Joining us now, Admiral James Stavridis, former Supreme Allied Commander of NATO and MSNBC Chief International Analyst, also author of the great new novel, The Restless Wave. Admiral, what does a deal look like if Ukraine and Russia were to go to the negotiating table now? You've got 10,000 North Korean troops in the Kursk region. You've got the ATACMS now authorized for use, landmines being used, anti-personnel landmines. But Russia, if with North Korea at least, could have an endless supply of personnel, despite their casualties. And they've gotten about 20% of Ukrainian territory since the invasion.
Yeah, let me start by drawing a line under what my fellow Floridian and veteran Colonel Mike Waltz, Special Forces, just said a moment ago, and we ought to be listening because he's our next national security advisor. That position does not require confirmation, so it's a done deal. And I think he's got it about right, which is what can we do to push these two sides to the negotiating table? And your question, Andrea, then what does a deal look like? I think it kind of is a case of what you see is what you get, meaning the current battle lines, which do have Russia in possession of Crimea, 4 provinces in the east, land bridge to Russia, to the Crimea. I think, sadly, Putin will end up in control of those. It's the red area on the graphic you're showing. The other 80% of Ukraine under this deal, at least as I envision it, and I think many others do, the rest of Ukraine sails on. Democratic, free, path to NATO, that's probably 5 years away, but not impossible. Path to the European Union, reconstruction begins. Ceasefire, no more missiles flying back and forth. I think that's probably how this turns out in a matter of months after the inauguration. So figure by spring, summer.
And Republican Senator Mike Rounds up in Halifax at the Security Conference, the annual conference there on Friday, dismissed talk of a peace deal. He said the U.S. should be doing more to help Ukraine. Let me play that for you.
I just feel so frustrated that we have not been able to provide them all of the equipment that they need and all of the weapon systems that they need in order to respond to absolute tyranny coming from Russia, a neighbor who has absolutely unjustly invaded their country.
And he's echoing a frequent criticism that I'm hearing from military, Republican as well as Democrats in the Senate and outside the Senate, that everything has been, too late, too slow. The F-16s, the Bradley vehicles, the ATACMS, the landmines, that it gets to them, but after they've lost more territory.
I think that's a fair criticism. Winston Churchill said once, you can count on the Americans to do the right thing after they've exhausted every other possibility. I feel like that's been the story through these 2.5 years, 1,000 days. We've been just slightly late to need. But that's the past. The point now is how do we give the Ukrainians the strongest possible position when they come to that negotiating table? And I would say continuing to push everything forward, which Team Biden is doing, and I hope Team Trump will continue that. That is counterintuitively the path to peace. The more capability in the hands of the Ukrainians, the less the chances are that Putin will resist a negotiation or attempt another campaign. So I am in the full speed ahead category, if you'll allow me a nautical metaphor, on the weapons systems, but I'm also full speed ahead on let's get to a negotiation.
And Richard Engel, of course, he's in Ukraine, our chief foreign correspondent. He spoke with a group of women soldiers deployed outside Kyiv in Bucha, which, of course, was occupied, and there were horrific war crimes there by Russia, and then they were fought back. They are very concerned about what will happen after sitting down with Putin. Let's watch a chunk of his reporting.
We joined a group of soldiers who call themselves the Witches of Bucha, now taking up arms. In a forest outside Kyiv, they're training in close combat, fully expecting one day Russian troops will make another push for Kyiv.
90% of this unit are women. Many of their sons and husbands are out fighting on the front lines, so they have stepped up, volunteering to defend the Capitol.
Valentina, the soldiers only released their first names, is a grandmother. Her son and son-in-law are on the front lines.
President-elect Trump says that he's going to wrap up this war in a day. Do you have confidence in that?
I don't believe this war can be stopped with a negotiation, she says. Putin can't be trusted. In 3 to 5 years, he'll come back.
I don't know about you, Admiral, but I've covered women, Kurdish women in Syria fighting ISIS because the men were all gone. And they were amazing, amazing fighters. And these women are heroic.
Yeah, 100% correct. I'll top you by one. You've reported on it. I've commanded women in combat. They were under my command on USS Barry, my first warship. And from that time forward in the 1990s in the Balkan Wars, I've had women sailors under my command in combat operations. They fight hard. They know what they're doing. We ought to have our hats off to any volunteer of this republic, woman or man, who steps up to fight. I have a lot of confidence in the women in our military.